Hello everyone. I am Vikrant from Team AMP, and the beautiful creature right next to me is Sushreeta from Team AMP. So, as you can see, judging from the state of my beard, I am one step away from achieving inner peace.
I have no comment to that.
So, before we begin, chatting about everything and anything we please under the sun, we should talk about the writing contest that is being held by AMP on for our inaugural magazine edition. So we've been getting quite a lot of positive response from you guys. So let's just keep it up and keep on going. And we can't wait to read your articles. There are a few rules to this writing contest because apparently I've heard rules are important. So rule number one is simple. Every month we're going to have this theme to our magazine. This month it's Tales from Mumbai. So it doesn't matter if you write horror or romance or anything, any genre, as long as the story takes place in Mumbai. It can't take place in Thane. It can't take place in Vashi. It cannot take place in Airoli. It has to take place in Mumbai. Rule number two, there is a word limit to this thing. We have gone with 500 words or less. So if you write 501 words, I'm sorry to say you will be disqualified. So please check your word count when you are writing. That is important. That is key. Rule number three: the language that these articles are to be written is the language of English. Yes, because as much as your spoken language is beautiful, I am sure it is, but we have to find a universal language which everyone can understand. So English is that language. So whatever submissions you have to be sent to our email ID, the link to which is given below in the description. Please check it out. There is a deadline which is 20th of May, which is a week from now. So you have to hurry, because if you send it on the 21st, it will not be counted. So 20th, a week from now. So, Sushita, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk a little about prizes. Okay. So, the prizes are very simple. 10 of you people will get a chance to be featured in our magazine. Yeah. And the people who are going to be judging who those 10 people are, there are 3 judges to this whole shindig. 2 of them are in this video right now. And the most important judge is our author of the month, Mr. Neil De Silva, best-selling author in the genre of horror for the month of May. So whoever these 10 featured authors are will also get a chance to attend a workshop conducted by Neil himself and a chance to interact with Neil. So there's a lot you can learn from this experience as well. So please make sure you use this opportunity and make it gold for yourself. And with that, that's that's all the contest related announcements that we have to make. But there are a few more important announcements to be made, and Sushita is going to be the one to make it. So what's hanging, Sushita?
So basically, I do all the important work. Thank you very much. So the important announcement here is that we have something coming up for you guys soon, pretty soon. And in order for you to be able to stay tuned on what is up, you need to follow us on our YouTube channel. You have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, and there is something really interesting that's going to be coming your way real soon. We are excited to have this. I hope you are excited as well once it comes out and you enjoy whatever it is that we are soon going to be putting up as content on our YouTube channel. Also, we had the most amazing amazing interview with Shreyas Poraspaddiwala. The video is already online. It was just so amazing to see this person so full of energy, bubbliness, and chirpiness, and talk so honestly about his feelings, his emotions, and what art means to him. So he was actually the embodiment of passion through his interview. So that was a really, really amazing interview. Please feel free to go and check that out. And if you really like it, don't forget to like the video, like literally hit the like button, and you can share it with your friends so that more people get to enjoy the fruits of our labor. So yeah, we're just so happy to be doing all of this for you. And I hope you guys enjoy the content that we are trying to put out for you.
Yeah, that was a fun interview. I feel like Shreyas is the kind of guy whose energy level is always on 200 out of 100. And he took our energy levels up as well. So that was fun. And I don't remember me laughing so hard like throughout a conversation for almost an entire hour. Like, we had fun. It was not like an interview that was going on. It was like the three friends are talking to each other and having fun and chilling. So, Sushreeta, what have you been up to this week?
Ah, I have been up to a lot of things. I remember telling myself that woman, coffee art. तुमको कॉफी आर्ट करना है, तुम इतने टाइम से बोल रही हो कॉफी आर्ट करना है करना है करना है, कुछ कर तो रही नहीं हो. Then one fine night I was like, I was tired but I was not sleepy, so I was like, chalo, this is a state that I am in, and I really want to allow this state to express itself. I needed to get it out so that I could go and have a peaceful sleep. So yeah, I did coffee painting, and this is what the final result was.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, baby. That's awesome.
Yeah, please ignore Vikrant saying, yeah, baby, that's awesome. But this is what came out. And trust me, guys, this was not a planned drawing. It was not planned at all. It just happened. So it just happened. I did not decide that, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to make. It just happened. So I thought, let's do something with circles. So I made the 3 circles first, and I thought, let me go down the floral route. So I was thinking perhaps I'll do sort of like a floral culture or something like that, wherein there are going to be different types of flowers, ferns, and petals and stuff like that. But then I don't know. I just did the circle, and I did the leaves sort of. And this is not the first shot. Made the leaves were not looking like this. हाँ, ये मैंने थोड़ा किया है. I have modified the leaves थोड़ा सा. तो इसमें क्या हुआ, मैंने पहले जो leaves बनाए थे, then afterwards I started dabbing my brush around using different shades of the coffee color, and then it came out like this. So I had actually multiple things in mind. Acha, theek hai. So maybe I can use it like a Victorian vintage sort of sign, and I would have done some design on it. So it could have come out slightly Victorian. But then I was not, I don't know, that just didn't happen. So after doing this whole thing, I did this on the side. So I thought this is going to turn out to be clown-ish. And I am not, I don't know, I'm not very good with the clown archetype as it is. So I was like a little confused. How am I going to manage that? Because it started looking a little clownish. But then afterwards, I was like, okay, let me see. Okay, this is what has happened. Let me see what else, what magic can I work on this? And it just happened. So I did this. I did the hair a little proper. And when first I completed this one. I completed the bottom one first, and then I worked on the other 2. Then I did this whole fringish sort of hair and this flowing of hair and all of that. And yeah, then this got complete. Then I decided, okay, let's just do this. Let's कर देते हैं, कर ही देते हैं types. And yeah, so I modified the leaves a little bit. So they don't necessarily look like leaves, but still they look like leaves. So there is a sort of, natural element to it, sort of, because I feel nature is very calming, peaceful, and nurturing. And if you look at this, I had, if you look at it, like I kind of sort of in retrospect thought that this would have actually been a really great Mother's Day gift. Especially if you had 3 generations in your family, it would have really been a very interesting sort of Mother's Day gift. This just a thought that popped in my head. So yeah, this is my coffee painting.
That's interesting because my idea of coffee art is the kick-ass cup of coffee I make every morning for myself. Yeah, baby.
I repeat, please ignore the yeah babies that Vikrant is on. I don't know what did he ingest that he is on this spree today. I apologize.
I've been watching a lot of anime lately, so I've reverted back to my teenage self.
Okay, so basically there's an adult and a child in conversation.
So this week I tried my hand at baking, as I said I would, and I've learned that baking has a learning curve involved to it. Yeah, I'm trying. I am sure by the time this lockdown is over, I'll get the hang of it. Yeah.
Ooh, so since you were talking about baking, I baked some amazing chocolate brownies. So my chocolate brownie, the from scratch wala chocolate brownie, I'll be making it sometime later. Perhaps this week I'll be making. So I bought a premix of the brownie. I have to add a couple of ingredients to it. So those additional ingredients, I'm going to slightly modify them and see what turns out. So I love brownies, and I love brownies the way I make them, because they should be firm yet ooey gooey and soft. So it just is that amazing to eat. And if it goes, you have a garma garam brownie with a nice scoop of ice cream of your flavor, your choice, preferably chocolate or vanilla. Oh my goodness, you are in heaven. So I just can't
I'd
wait.
have a foodgasm over that.
And ladies and gentlemen, as per usual, Vikrant cuts me in the middle of whatever I am saying.
Hey, but if you're talking about brownies, that's bound to happen.
I have nothing to say.
Like sweet and meat are like my two weaknesses. As I've already told, if you give me a good piece of chicken, I can sign over my power of attorney to you right now.
No, that was not cake. That was chicken.
I said good piece of chicken like 10 seconds ago. If you give me a good piece of chicken. My other weakness are sweets.
Oh.
So if you watch these videos.
So basically, I can get Vikrant to sign his power of attorney to me if I bake him one of my kick-ass brownies, and I'm sorted. I'm done. So he will not sell off the app to someone else. So if he gets inebriated and he is put down to do some nonsense, the power of attorney will stay with me. So that's one thing that's out of the way. So yeah, appreciate that, Vikrant.
Yeah, but the chances of me getting inebriated are very less because I do not get drunk.
Yeah, audience, I am sorry for Vikrant's unusually weird behavior today. I know he's the bearded weirdo, but still, sincere apologies.
Okay. So, like any new arts and craft project you're gonna start soon enough?
Um. Okay. So I am going to be. So I have bought letters that are my name, not Sushreeta, but Sush. So I'm hoping to be painting those soon so that I can put them on the wall. So that it officiates. It's kind of sort of like my signature on there. Um, that. Then I am planning on doing a little more coffee painting artwork. Let's see how that goes. I have actually been so my guy best friend, his name is Asim Singh Sodi, and he and I just recently shared a picture of the both of us online, which was like 5 years ago, and it was a really nice picture. So in that process, I was just thinking about how much of an amazing person he is, and all of that leads back to me learning how to speak Punjabi with him. Sanu Punjabi dasni ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, but not so much. So that takes me back to, so he's basically a Sikh. So I am highly likely to be trying or giving a shot at painting the Sikh symbol and perhaps the symbol for Ikonkar. Because Ikonkar is something that brings peace to me, keeps me calm, and I my work sort of like flows. It helps my creativity flow even more. So, but I want to personify that by trying to paint these two using the medium of coffee art, because I think um, the whole vibe that coffee art gives is so classic, chic, and yet so rustic and simple. So yeah, that's what's on my mind.
And okay, so that those are arts and crafts. But as we've like discussed, we have other interests as well. Like for instance, we are working on a book together, like, as we've discussed.
Yes.
And I have caught Sushita in a very awkward position, as you. So no, so let's not talk about like where it's going in the writing phase, because we know that writers have to feel the moment, feel the story coming on before they can
Yeah.
write. So like we cannot force it upon ourselves to write willy
Absolutely.
nilly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So but the thought of you of merging two concepts together, something like a mythology and a supernatural kind of thing, it excites me. So
Of course it
let's
does.
yes, of course it does, because I have a dark imagination, I can't help it.
Of course you
uh,
do.
but let's talk about that a little bit, because it's fun for me to talk about.
Of
Okay,
course.
so like, do you want to like introduce people to how much of a dark sadistic bastard I can be when I'm writing?
Okay. So I am a psychologist, right? So there is
Yeah.
something which is known as confidentiality that I adhere to. And I break confidentiality when I know there's a threat to someone's life, be it my patient or be it someone else. So sometimes what happens is you have patients who come in and they give you gory details about what are they going to do, right? Because they are in the heat of the moment, and perhaps they're angry and stuff like that. And their facial expression, their body language, their choice of words, and the way they say those words, the grit with which they say those words, the disgust and the pleasure of meting this disgusting pain upon another person, the way that entire thing is conveyed, has shaken me from within on multiple occasions. But of course, psychologist can't really let that show. And I have kept my calm and stuff, and I have successfully managed to deal with that situation. Um, so Vikrant actually enjoys when he gets to, so he'll just randomly ask me, so what happened at work today? So I, of course, I maintain confidentiality. I mean, I don't disclose the name and everything of my client, and I convert it into a slight storytelling format, and I tell it to him. And you should just look at his eyes go wide and look at his body language, be like, oh, okay. This whole, he leans forward and it's like he has ears for nothing else except for that. And I was like, initially I was just saying it in a storytelling form, and then afterwards I looked at him like, whoa, he's actually interested in all of this. And I was like, okay. Then afterwards he introduced me to the kind of things that he writes, etc. And I was like, okay, all right, cool, nice, pleasure meeting you.
So I remember this thing. So I was writing this a particular scene in which my my one of my characters gets brutally tortured and killed. And I've done my homework when it comes to those things. Like, I mean, obviously I haven't gone out and killed anybody, but I've done my research on the matter. So people are gonna be like, please, psychiatric help.
I swear to God, I have nothing to do with his mindset being like this. I am not, please do not incriminate me. इसको उठा के लेके जाना है तो इसको उठा के लेके जाओ. मैंने कुछ नहीं किया.
No, but like it's better you use pen and paper to put out my frustrations instead of going all Dexter on people. So I did my research, and there is this thing. If anyone has seen the TV series Vikings, they'll know. There's this thing called the
Wait, please. We are still a work in progress on that. Do not, I repeat, do not reveal too much. I have a feeling that you're going to reveal too much.
Okay, sorry. So people who watch Vikings will know what I'm talking about. So I won't disclose any more than that. There's a lot of torture that goes on that show. So people will not know exactly what I'm talking about. So I remember, telling Sushreeta, okay, so this is this that I have, planned, and there are other couple occasions as well. There was this particular character, female character, that I wanted her to have a particular supernatural affliction that is, that is related to abuse in a past life. That is the result of abuse in a past life. And I told her, and the reaction sometimes, for a second, the expression comes on her face, dude, you need help, and then it quickly goes away. Yeah, but
I swear to God, I have been this close to giving him my psychiatrist's number. So the psychiatrists that I work with, I have been this close. I was like, okay, I am a therapist. I can do the therapy aspect. I'm a psychologist. So I can do the that aspect. But this probably needs medicine. I have been this close to just pulling out a number and sending it to him. Be like, listen, just call up this person and speak to this person and take an appointment and meet this person at the hospital or the clinic.
No, see, for me, it's a healthy release to those inner dark feelings of mine. My writing helps me, and the darker I write, the more light I feel inside of me. Is what I equate it to. So I tend to write dark. You know, and I know it's not good, and I've had experiences. I've had dark thoughts because of my writing sometimes. But overall, once I'm done with it, I've thought about a particular scene during while I'm conceptualizing it, those are my dark moments. But once I'm done with it, it's like all the darkness has been put onto that paper, and all I feel is light. So yes, I've had countless sleepless nights because of the things that I write about, and I've told you, I've had sleep paralysis experiences because of all the things that I've written about. But overall, for me, I feel it's my writing is my therapy, and the darker I write, the more therapeutic it gets for me.
Yeah, and I am a psychologist who's working with him. So yeah, writing is his therapy, sure. Yet I am standing for support always. So he gets dark, so dark, and really so dark that he forgets that there are other things also to a story. So he has left the responsibility of relationships to me in our book. And I'm like, okay, um, fine, you have entrusted me with that important job slash task, but you can't just expect me to go ahead and write about it, because I need to get into that entire zone of romance or that entire zone of relationships for me to actually be able to write spot on. So the dark side, he freaks me out with any which ways. And then the amounts that he freaks me out, I am like, holy shit, okay, what about my part of this? What am I going to be able to write when I am encountering all of this? So that's where I am, you can say, kind of sort of stuck. I have a writer's block as of now on that front, because there have been so many times I've just opened my laptop and I'm like, okay, I think perhaps I may have written only 2 to 3 lines yet. And those 2 to 3 lines also, I may have edited them like 1,000 freaking times, because I'm just not happy with what I have written. It's just that, no, this is not what should be. Something else has to be. So that is why I am also now slowly going to not talk about dark stuff with Vikrant, and I will perhaps try to pick up a couple of romance novels, or I will start watching those typical romantic rom-coms or romance movies and all of that. I want to get into romance as much as possible, and get into relationships as much as possible. So you may find me watching Rajshri production movies, or you may find me watching movies like a Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, or stuff like that, so that I get into that entire vibe of writing about relationships and writing about things from a particular character's perspective. So yeah, that.
So, but here's the thing. I sometimes feel Sushreeta can get a little too cerebral with her writing. You know, writing is not this thing that you have to get perfect. Writing is all about storytelling. It's not about how you tell that story. Okay. So basically, it's just, if you've seen my process of writing, I will just sit, and when I'm feeling that flow, I'll just sit and I'll type it out. I'll not think about if I'm doing this right, if I'm like am I like, is that, if he's punching someone, should his arm be at a 90-degree angle, or should it be at a 45-degree angle, and stuff like that. I don't think about what I'm writing. I just write it, and then once I'm finished, I think about it.
Yeah,
Have I
totally.
written?
So that is why you and I are two different individuals with different perspectives on writing. So writing as may be to you may not necessarily be to me, and the way you write is not necessarily the way I write. So your suggestion may probably be what works best for you, but I know how to write and I know how to get into my flow of writing. And I have written a lot of decent stuff with my flow of writing as well. And it is not just in terms of written language. If you have heard me talk about a lot of things over so many months of our association, Vikrant, you will understand that how I choose to develop things in my mind, and they turn out to be nice.
I know they do. Which is why I like, association, I would say, when it comes to writing, because, even though we have like two different approaches to writing, when it comes to, the end product, we both agree upon what the story has to be. Like, I agree that it has to have a romantic angle. You agree that it has to have that darkness as well. So that is why this works, according to me.
Perhaps.
Yeah. So, on to lighter subjects, because this has gotten too dark.
Yes, it just went too dark. Way too
Yeah.
much. Way too soon.
So, let's talk about, something much more simpler, like the lockdown. It's much
You
more
think
simpler
that's
than
simple? You think
it's,
that's
sim-
simple?
it's simpler than the supernatural, definitely.
I beg to differ.
Okay, so we've talked about this. The whole we during Shreyas's interview, we talked about our fortresses of solitude. I'm actually gonna coin that term as an AMP term now from now. Yes.
Trademarked and copyrighted belongs only to the app. You can use it only if you're a member of Team AMP or you have purchased the rights of using that word from us.
Yes. So like we've talked about our main fortress of solitude being mine being writing and cooking, yours being arts and crafts and writing. But there are like, as Shreyas has said, that there is not just one fortress of solitude out there for every person. So let's talk a little about our particular, other fortresses of solitudes and stuff like that. So, like, what are yours for the audience to know, that you would like the people to know?
Um, so a lot of people may not know this from the people who know me. I tend to come out as a very outgoing social person, and I love doing that. But there are times wherein I am just like, I want nothing, I need nothing, and all I would like is a nice cup of hot chocolate from Grandmama's Cafe, if possible. And I would like to sit. So I have like this small garden ish at my window, which has flowering plants and all of that. And when I look outside my window, there's a lot of greenery. Okay, and I just like a nice cup of hot chocolate, perhaps some real soothing music, or the old purane Hindi filmon ke gaane, playing on the karwa perhaps, and I'm sitting at the window sipping my hot chocolate and just taking in the view outside. Sometimes if music isn't something that I gravitate towards, I will gravitate towards books. I will take a nice book to read. And then sometimes what happens is I'm like, let the music be, let the book be. I'll just sit at my window and I'll just keep looking at, the mini ecosystems that are there around me. So that is something I really enjoy doing. I really love doing.
So I have over this time of isolation, I've been thinking about a lot about something I used to do during my 10th standard,
Okay.
during my 10th year, to stress relief of sorts. I used to put a season ball in my sock, hang it from a rope, and I used to practice do batting practice. And I've been thinking about it a lot because there was something about the repetitive movement of hitting the ball with the bat that just allowed me time to not think about worry about मेरा 10th का एग्जाम शुरू होने वाला है, am I going to do good, am I going to do bad, how am I going to perform, because I had a lot of issues. I was never good at studies, because I was never interested in it. But I had a lot of issues. I had to completely, like people don't know this, I had to completely change the style of my handwriting during my 10th year because my handwriting was illegible. So I had to completely change it from cursive to writing block.
Hmm.
And it required a lot of practice for me. Like by the end of the exam, I had written so many practice papers that an entire two rucksack full of practice papers were like filled up to completely change my handwriting. I had to do that. So like when I was not doing those things, when I was not worrying about all those things and my exams and stuff like that, I would go outside and I used to do these just batting practice exercise, and the monotony of it used to help me not think about those things. So given this whole thing, I have been thinking a lot about doing that. I've been thinking a lot about going back to that whole thing and the monotony of it. I know like people are already living a very monotonous life, and we don't. I want to add to that right now, but there's something peaceful about that. I didn't have to. My brain tends to constantly like think about my right, and sometimes it can get too dark for me as well. I know I've told people that once I put it all out on paper, I feel light, but it's a long process of conceptualizing it to putting pen to paper. So you need sometimes you need that outlet where you don't have to think about those things. So yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about the 15-year-old myself, taking a bat and a ball and doing some batting practice on the terrace.
Interesting.
So like we can talk ad nauseum about these things, but I think we should conclude this conversation. But
All right.
in conclusion, during these difficult times, what advice do you want to give to our viewers out there?
So I agree that these are tough times. Perhaps some of you may be getting used to this. Perhaps some of you may not be able to get used to this under any circumstances. Perhaps some of you are living in environments which are not allowing you to thrive and which are really painful environments for you to be in. Perhaps some of you are experiencing some or the other sort of distress, which may not be pertaining to this particular situation, but to other events that are perhaps happening in your life. um, I understand that it is excruciating and it is painful to be enduring all of this right now. So, whenever you feel that you are enduring something way too much for way too long, and you feel that huge burden upon yourself, which you may tend to feel near your neck, shoulders, and on your back, what you can do is identify a person in your life, or you can speak to me, of course, I am always there. um, but identify a person in your life, जिसको जाके आप सब कुछ बोल सकते हो, and all that they have to do is listen. उनको कुछ और नहीं करना है, उनको आपको टिप्पणी नहीं देनी है, उनको आपको कोई सजेशंस नहीं देने हैं. Those people don't really have to recommend anything to you. It's just that sometimes वो जो भरा हुआ होता है ना, उसको बाहर निकालना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. एंड कभी कभी हमें ऐसा लगता है कि हम शायद अकेले हैं इस पूरे सिलसिले में, पर हम जब इस बारे में किसी और के साथ शेयर करते हैं तो हमें थोड़ा सा हल्का महसूस होता है, और हम जानते हैं कि हाँ, ये इंसान है, ये एक इंसान है जो मेरे लिए है. दिस पर्सन इज परहैप्स माई एंकर. This person is perhaps my soundboard. So you can throw whatever it is that you want reflected back to you, so that you have a better understanding of what is it that you're experiencing, what is it that you're going through. So um like Pardy had mentioned in the interview, and I often use this with a lot of my patients and a lot of my clients, is the pressure cooker effect. जितना अंदर रखोगे, जितना अंदर रखोगे, जितना ज्यादा अंदर रखोगे, बिना and without giving it any sort of outlet, the more you keep things within you, एक दिन ज्वालामुखी की तरह फटना है सब कुछ. And it will be a very very scary and devastating situation, because it's going to perhaps harm you, and it may perhaps cause harm to someone around you. By harm, I don't necessarily mean physical harm, but what I'm talking about is mental distress. So please, please, please make sure ki don't keep it all within you. Don't keep it bottled up. Express. And that is what the AMP is all about. The AMP is a platform where you can feel free to express yourselves, and perhaps art is that one medium which allows you that kind of expression. So please, viewers, make the most of this, and we are here for you. Okay, I don't know about Vikrant. I am here for you because I am the psychologist. He is not. Even also with his fair share of experiences, he may perhaps be able to help you in some or the other way with whatever has worked for him. But yeah, I am a psychologist. You can just feel free to get in touch with me. Drop in an email at theamp6@gmail.com if you have any mental health related questions or queries, and perhaps we may take up those questions or queries in some or the other interactions that we have. So yeah.
So yeah, guys, the only thing I can say is, with the AMP, what you can always find is an ear to talk to hear what you're saying. So yeah, like even I'll hear what you have to say. Don't have to listen to that person over there. And with that, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon for more updates. We have other social media pages as well on our Instagram as well as our Facebook, the link to which is given in the description below. Please join us there as well. You can stay in touch with all that is happening. We have some big things lined up for you this week. So yeah, stay tuned, people. And with that, signing off. Sushreeta, do the honors, please.
We are Team AMP.